let's take a look at our horizontal braces that we have on our second floor. If we look at sheet S1, we can see that we have horizontal braces in these opening bays here. We have a WT 8x13 and 6x6x3/8 back-to-back angle here as horizontal braces. To add your horizontal braces, you can use the same add commands that we've used so far. Under my model pull down, under member, add, I have horizontal brace. I can prompt for member type and pick horizontal brace, or I can use my member add flyout and pick my horizontal brace icon. We'll start down here at the bottom for my back-to-back angles. I'm going to go ahead and use my intersection of construction lines. And now I have my member add options bar on, so I can select this and say L 6x4x3/8. If I tab out of that, it'll validate that size and give me information that I need to know. Side of gusset will leave far side. Do we want the long leg to gusset or outstanding? You can simply select whichever we want. We're going to go ahead and leave the long leg to the gusset. Do I want double or single material? Because this has a 2 in front of it, we're going to use the double material here to show that we need back-to-back angles. And then the connection types are HBRC plate or horizontal brace plate is what's defaulted. I'm going to go ahead and launch the member edit window just so we can see the member edit for our vertical bracing. So if I go ahead and pick my 2 points here, I'm going to use intersection of construction lines and intersection of construction lines. And here's my horizontal brace edit window. So in the edit window here, you can see that I have my long leg 2. I'm going to leave it to gusset. My double materials, yes. My side of gusset is far side. My end elevations are 1/14'6". And my input connection type is HBRC plate, or like I said, horizontal brace plate. We'll go ahead and just leave that the way it is and say OK. And it'll add that brace in for me. If I right click and hit my solid transparent main, you can see that I have my horizontal brace now in my model with my gusset plate to my top flange. U on my keyboard gets me back to my plan view for undo view change. Now if I was going to add the WT on this side, you'll notice that on the WT 8x13 there's a -3, which means it's down 3 inches from my 1/14'6". So if I want to go down 3 inches, there's a couple different tools we can use and we're going to look at here. I can use my Xyz Offset down here. You notice it says X plus, Y plus, and Z plus. If I added a -3 in here, my point locators will all have 3 inches subtracted from them when I snap to a point. So if I used my horizontal brace add, you can see that my intersection of construction lines is now snapping to 114'3" in my Z elevation. If I were to clear this, my point locator snaps to 114'6". So I can make this offset from Z plus to -3. I can also click on these buttons that say Z plus, and I can make it equals. In this case, I can say 114'3", and then no matter what I snap to, my Z is always 114'3". Another way we can look at this, before adding a member, we can use our relative depth. This plus or minus icon here allows us to move in and out of the screen a specific distance. So right now our elevation is 114'6". If I click the plus minus, it says, how do I want to change my view depth by? Negative will go into and positive will go out of depth. So right now I'm at 114'6". I want to go down 3 inches, so I'm going to say -3. When I say OK, now my current elevation is 114'3". And if I were to use my horizontal brace add with my intersection of construction lines and Z plus equals 0, it still snaps to 114'3" because that's my current working plane. The reason this works is our construction lines are actually vertical planes. So they are running in and out of the screen here perpendicular to our plan view. So no matter whether I go up or down in elevations, I still see these lines because they're actually planes running up and down. And the same is true for construction lines running left and right. If I make a section cut through them, I should still see those construction lines because they are planes. Lastly, I can always just lock my end elevations here. I can always just type in the elevation I want before I pick my points. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to a WT 8x13. We're going to leave it far side, intersection of construction lines. I'll prompt for my member edit window. And so you can see I have far side of gusset, WT, HBRC plate, 114'3", which is what I want. And I'm just going to go ahead and say OK. If I right click to say I'm done and use SA to turn everything solid, I can see that I get my gusset plate down 3 inches on my beams. With braces, it is often common to ship the gusset plates loose. In this case, if I were to highlight and select this, you'll notice that the gusset plates and everything are all selected together. So currently, these are all detailed as one item. If I were to edit my horizontal brace, every member, not just bracing, but beams and columns also, have a break apart checkbox. If I check this on, any bolted material